Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to CWL London. We are here live on the main stage. My name is Bryce, of course. Joining me for this one, Chris Tunn. How excited are we to get today underway?
So excited, 90 teams finding themselves all the way down to 2 here in the Open Bracket Finals. And of course, we've got plenty more action after this one, but the first game is going to be a real interesting one, Bryce.
It certainly is. They battled all the way through the Game Fuel Open Bracket, and now they are here, fighting to find who walks away with the main prize. Mindfreak are looking to try and do one better than they did last time. But before we get into that, let's have a little look at the schedule for today. Now, as you can see, we are kicking it off this morning with a game we are looking forward to, Kairos versus Mindfreak. After that, losers semi-final. Then we're going to see 100 Thieves versus Optic Gaming. Then the losers final, and of course, it's Championship Sunday, the Grand Finals.
And you know, we're just here to butter you all up for all this action. Now, I'm expecting some noise from the crowd, just a little bit. Warm yourselves up as we get into the rest of the day. But of course, there is action going on Bravo for you guys at home and for you guys in the venue if you want to check that out. Some big games going on there this morning.
Yeah, I think for me, let's get straight into this first game and talk about it, because these two teams really have gone all the way through that massive Game Fuel Open Bracket. They've come into here, first of all, Kairos. They suffered a loss earlier on, and it hasn't been the cleanest run for them, but they have made it here so far. And if you are aware of UK Call of Duty, you should recognize some of these names. B-Sport Josh, Weeman, Nelson, Cammy, and D-Frag are going to be heading up this lineup. Yeah,
and it's a lineup full of experience. So, you know, these guys have been around for quite some time, teetering in around the top level at times. Of course, B-Sport Josh, we know what he's doing in the European scene. The rest of the guys have had their shot up there. Have they always taken it? Not necessarily. However, in this team, they've found a formula that seems to be working in the Open Bracket, and it'll be very hard for Mindfreak to go up against a team like this. It's not this young gun team who have got these enigmatic players who haven't had that experience. This is a team with plenty of main stage experience. They will not be faltering up there. And, you know, I fancy them, to be honest, Brycey. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about this team, is you would expect them to do very well in this tournament. Not sure if they were going to make the Grand Finals before this, but they have managed to. But their opponents have been in the Grand Finals before at Fort Worth. Mindfreak did make it into it, unfortunately falling at the last hurdle to FC Black. Ton, do you think they can go one further this time?
Potentially. Look, I mean, they've got to come from the losers bracket, though. They have to win 2 best out of 5s, which is going to be super difficult. You know, they're going to have potentially the crowd against them as well, but they have all the talent in the world. It was so unfortunate that these guys didn't make it to Pro League. Have made a change since then, but looking at some of the players on this list, and they have caused so many problems for the top teams over the years. You're looking at Fighter, Shocks, and Luca. These guys have been sensational, and Setsi and Swifty definitely putting up the numbers as well. Really, if I'm looking at anybody on this team to help Mindfreak through this final, it is going to be Luca. We've seen at the PLQ how good he is and how he has the potential to be up there as one of the best, and they've performed well to get to this point, not without their issues. However, he is somebody that, if you are on Kairos, you're going to have to keep an eye on.
So, from what I'm aware, Mindfreak have the advantage in this series. Is it the wrong way around?
Other way, Mindfreak lost.
Mindfreak lost, all right, okay, I got told the wrong thing backstage. So Kairos have the advantage. If they win this best of 5, they end up winning all of it. If not, we're going to do a second best of 5. But here is going to be the series for this one. Frequency hardpoint, Hacienda search and destroy, seaside control, Hacienda hardpoint, and then if we get there, payload, search and destroy.
And I was speaking to some of the Kairos guys, and you know what they said to themselves, and they said to me, they like fast and frantic, they like these close quarter maps. So frequency hardpoint, a great kickoff for them. They only need 3 maps to be crowned the Game Fuel Open Bracket champions.
They certainly do. Well, let's see how this goes on. And now, we did see some of this Kairos team yesterday, and I think that's the only reason I got so confused about how well they did, because we saw them get, how do I put this, devastated on the hard point that we cast for them.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're a team who I looked at going into this event, and I wasn't 100% sure if Kairos were going to make it this far, but it's just that experience that they've had. They've all been, yes, okay, on the main stage, but they've all been through that open bracket area. They've all been in that position where they've had to grind out these land results. You know, they've been around for so long that everyone used to have these long days, didn't you? Especially in the, 3-4 years ago when all European teams had to go through the open bracket. These guys have that experience as well. They have that stamina to go through. And I think that's what's helped them. They've got bundles of talent. They've got the experience as well. But yeah, they managed to get themselves through. Beating some good teams. I think Aspire was the team that they really struggled going up against. Mostly that's at Robbie B, Fastballer, all those guys who will finish finish 3rd actually. So they beat some good teams to get here. Now they're going to go up against Mindfreak, a #1 seed. Can they go one better? It's going to be a tough game. It's a really hard one to call. Really hard one to call. Of course, it is Kairos who have the advantage, so that definitely lies in their favor. But it's not out of the question of Mindfreak winning 2 best out of 5s.
So here's the kind of the main 2 storylines for me, right? I think I like the fact that it's kind of almost a B-Sport redemption arc.
Yeah.
You know, his stock dropped massively after kind of what happened at the PLQ and kind of falling off the radar a little bit. A lot of people are doubting this guy, forgetting that he has been at the top for a long time. And you don't do that without the skill and knowledge to be able to do it again and see whether or not he can obviously maybe become one of the prospects to go back into the pro scene. And of course, on the other side, Mindfreak. Fort Worth, they weren't able to kind of go and win it. They get another chance. They got close, but, you know, FaZe Clan Black were just too strong. That FaZe Clan Black team obviously no longer existing. A lot of those teams got kind of players ripped out and taken and sprinkled over the Pro League. And
I mean, that shows how good they were, right?
Yeah.
It shows how good FaZe Clan Black were. And Mindfreak pushed them to the limit. We got to map number 5 in the first series. And Mindfreak had to come from the losers bracket again, so they don't like making things easy for themselves. Mindfreak were a team who did lose to Aspire, and that's what sent them down. And then they battled their way back and beat Aspire in the losers bracket final to find themselves here in this grand final against Kairos. So they've got resilience, but if they were coming in, like, don't get me wrong, I think if they were coming in from the winners bracket, I would favor them. I just think it's that close of a game that it's so difficult for teams to win 2 best out of 5s. It's so hard. I mean, there's so many maps that you have to be good at. You know, the veto process comes in second time around as well, making the second best out of 5 harder if you win the first one. It's very, very difficult to come from losers bracket and win.
Do you know what the worst thing is? Before this, we made a prediction based on how we thought it was going to go before we went live. And because I had it wrong and who had the advantage in this series, I picked Mindfreak. I'm changing my mind now. I think it's Kairos.
Good, yeah. Get with the UK, boys. Come on. We can't be having that, Bryce. You can't be going.
Look, I always pick based on logic and what I know best. And
no, I'm just completely biased.
Yeah, we know that. So does Reddit. But no, I think realistically, I don't actually see this going to a second best of 5.
It's hard to say because these two haven't played each other, or as we could have potentially sort of based it off that, had a look, but we haven't seen too much of Kairos at all, and they are a relatively new team. They've been playing online together for maybe like the past month or so, whereas Mindfreak have that experience together. They played together for a long time. Of course, we did see them in Fort Worth, so it's interesting to see that this Kairos come in, and I mean, how many times have I said the honeymoon period this weekend? It's one of these things where yes, it plays a factor. They find themselves here now in the final. With that advantage, they'll be feeling good. I mean, we've seen Josh was there laughing, just carrying on with the rest of his team. They're feeling good. And, I was speaking to Weeman this morning as well. He said, a couple of the guys woke up a little bit of a headache, that sort of thing. It's been a long day yesterday, so they will be tired going into this game. But they'll be feeling confident against this Mindfreak team. And as said, they like their fast and frantic. And where better to start for them than on frequency, on hardpoint, against Mindfreak here in the Game Fuel Open Bracket Finals.
All right, let's get this one underway. First map of the day here, Championship Sunday, CWL London, Frequency Hardpoint. Kairos Esports versus Mindfreak. Both these two teams know that this W means an awful lot. Let's get right into this one. And on board with Swifty to kick things off.
Let's see what he can do. Sorg in hand, a very, very solid player with that weapon. But really, I said if I'm looking at Mindfreak, I'm looking at this guy. Luca does find 2 before he does go down. Weeman finds 2 of his own as well. And that first initial break will go in Kairos' favor. However, the spawns still lie with Mindfreak right now.
They certainly do, but early days from yet. They're going to think about rotation in just a minute. There's another big cleanup by Nolson, and he has seen shots just dip out of dodged out. And this is now where they'll start thinking about pushing. 30 seconds left to go. You're going to start positioning yourself, maybe make a few kills, and think about getting this. Nelson's already going for it, gets that kill going down, and now he's in a great position to try and lock down some spawns for it. It is certainly going all Kairos' way at the moment. Unfortunately, with only 15 seconds left till we hit that next hard point, they don't have any of the spawns.
Weeman starting off this one pretty nicely at 5-1. Addicts in hand, and this is where they're going to have to try and break on through. Do they send everyone towards elbow, towards the back? They've got Nelson maybe on a bit of a flank down the left-hand side from BS&D, and then they're just going to try and go through the front door. Nobody's watching Nelson. He slides around behind. How Mindfreak let him slip through. Is he going to find a second as well? Big plays out of Nelson, and that should break it for Kairos. Is he going to find a third as well? Big plays out of Nicky Nelson here on the main stage.
Nelson just going in, and that's a criminal mistake from Mindfreak as Nelson continues to rain down, end up switching out to the KN as well. And Mindfreak are just being absolutely punished for that lapse in concentration. D-Frag now right back in the back. He's got Fighter in his sights, but it doesn't matter. The spawns have come back up, and Kairos are reinforcing. Now with 26 seconds left to go, you can already see they're thinking about pushing out for this rotation. Mindfreak have given everything up, and it is going to be on Kairos to retake.
Yeah, Mindfreak get that up fairly early, but to be honest, but I mean, you have to watch that every single time that we see players break this. They're always going down that side of the map. They don't watch it for 1 second, and Nelson punishes them hard, and they get punished by a 60-point deficit as we go towards blue. And now Mindfreak are set up. They've got a pretty decent setup, actually. They're across the map where they need to, but Weeman wins 2 gunfights in the middle. That didn't look like he should have. Let's see, is that going to be the catalyst for Kairos to try and push a breakthrough into blue?
Weeman is gunning right now, and this is the problem. They've got a great setup here, but when you're going to let Weeman just continue to walk through over and over again, that has now punched a hole. It's Mindfreak who are reeling and trying to hold on to this one. Josh is the only player who can do anything now for Kairos. He's going to go down, and they finally managed to hold back on. And Kairos may have one last stab at this before they think about rotating.
Luca at the back here, just trying to lock this one down. Kairos looking like they're going to have a stab through elbow's side. Can't quite get anything going here though, and looks like Mindfreak are going to be able to hold this one down. Kairos though are going to get the final few points. Have spawns over towards generators as well. 15 seconds remaining though. Mindfreak quite happy to challenge for these. The lead is already pretty significant for Kairos, and they need every single point. Mindfreak here, and the rotation over is looking good. Kami all alone trying to defend against Mindfreak.
Well, Kami now has to back up. He's alone. He has no real reinforcement, so he isn't going to be able to get a trade there. Maybe could have played his life a little bit longer with a kind of a shoulder throw, but Weeman comes in and gets 2 for it at the same time. And now both teams kind of butting heads over this hard point. They've got lots of bodies in the area, but who's going to come out on top?
Kills being traded just about in Kairos' favor, but it is indeed Mindfreak inside the hard point. They've caught right back up into this game. Kairos had a 60-point lead heading into blue, but it is all but dissipated now. 30 seconds is the difference. Also on the side of the point, and I was just looking at Weeman, 18 and 7 out of him, and he really is pulling his weight in this game, but the rest of the team not quite there, and that's why we're seeing Mindfreak come back into it. Big 2-piece from D-Frag though, but it is going to be Mindfreak locking down this final 20 seconds if they can get rid of Josh, and we are pretty much going to head in even to the second rotation.
Well, big win there from Mindfreak. And you can see his fighter is almost going to have streaks. Can he just fight Nelson here? Not quite able to do that one either. But I tell you what, Tan, it's certainly hype here on the main stage. I think it's time for a listening with Kairos.
You go on, go straight in. On your left, on your left. On the right, you've got Flimmy and Hill, Flimmy.
We can back, top window.
Yeah, I'm dead.
We need to start going together. Nice.
Your shoulder in front. Top plant, Zesty, weak. You got 10 missed out in Hill.
There's a peep that.
You
got 200, they have 200 as well, by the way.
That's one blue, we should go through this.
Top window.
I've got power. I'm stunned. I'll flame me as well, still.
One shot. He doesn't have war yet.
Mid hill. I can't get him. I'm one shot. I got him.
Oh, so he's silent. He's silent.
They might spawn out.
I'm gonna jump up. Top plat. I need to hill.
Well, you see the silent. I can grapple this. Ready on step.
Go for it.
Top plat. He's got a sword.
Behind us. One of them spawned out. Fire one shot. Two spawned out.
One in the back.
Nathan.
Got one. Fire in the back. Push me orange.
One
One
knock,
orange.
one
I fire in the back,
I
man.
need to pull out flex soon.
Yeah. Go around P1. One in. He on yet.
Oh, he got me.
I YP. Fuck.
I'm
One
waiting.
right side P1 still.
Spawning so far, man.
Yeah, there's one out.
Oh,
There's
there's
two, bro. One bomb blue, bomb orange, sorry.
I'm one shot.
I'm rotating P1 again.
Lucas first still. He's still first.
Well, you need to come left for me.
One shot. I got first guy.
Nice.
In the back still fought really weird.
Got
Two
mine.
at the back. Two out the back door.
He's weak.
Yeah,
the bar.
Quick, bomb orange.
One more challenge. Bomb orange. Weak.
Got plenty.
1 second. Help me first as well.
One underground. I window. Nice.
One in first already. Watch out. Nice, Kami.
Mid. I'm one shot.
He's trying to win Josh
I'm taking
spawns
it
out.
out.
No. Somebody, I'll go back then. I'll go back.
got my mid.
I'll go back. Somebody needs to play
Top
tight.
plat.
Plat. Swifty started weak.
Nice, we need team shot.
I have two left side, yeah. One left,
Three right.
All right, fast and frantic communication there from Kairos, but that has not been going well for them on this map. Mindfreak are now in the lead by 60 points. And you can see them struggling. They need to get back into this. There are streaks of play as well. Fighter has been throwing down the hurt.
Fighter's been absolutely sensational for them. Oh my God, Nelson coming in there with the War Machine. Finds 4 as well, and you got to question Mindfreak. How do they not know that he has this at this point? You need to be getting flak out when it gets to this point in the game, but they don't get away with it at all, and Nelson continues as well with the help of Weeman. Is going to get taken down by Swifty. But one of the things I noticed there, a lot of investment from Mindfreak to find themselves in these points. Weeman finds 2, can't quite find the third. and Setzi is able to answer back, but a lot of investment from Mindfreak for this 50-point lead. They did use their Purifier and their Tempest in mid-hill, where they did get the spawns for second, which is where they did the damage here. But Kairos, a little bit better from them as we headed over towards blue. They picked up the majority of the time here, and it's about a 40-point game, as I should say, as we go over towards Generators.
It is. Unfortunately, Mindfreak are going to be here first. The Kairos are going to have to try and break into it again. Something not going well for them. Somehow, Nelson gets that kill as well, but they just don't have enough bodies here for the reinforcements. They're finally going to get 2 into the hill. And now, whether or not Kairos can hold, because here comes that blue flood. Mindfreak are here in numbers, looking for it, as both teams actually end up backing out of this one to try and get a bit of control around it.
The thing is, Fighter called in his lightning strike, so Kairos have to back out. They have to back up. They can't do anything about that. And now they're going to have to retake. It's allowed Mindfreak to push on through. They're going to find a couple of kills while they're in control as well. It's a good lead to have. They're about to break 200 points. Swifty trying to control up top. Weeman just coming in there with the cover, but this is a good hold for Mindfreak. We're going to head to the third rotation. Kairos are going to move over towards the first hill once again, and it's a pretty bad deficit for them. After such a hot start as well, Mindfreak have just stepped it up. We've seen the mistakes coming in. Maybe they were just a little bit cold. As since then, it's been all Mindfreak. I think Kairos have picked up, what, 40 points within the last, like, 5 or 6 hills?
Yeah.
It's not good. Not good at all.
So that's due to the main man, Fighter, just continually shutting it down. He's almost about to hit 30 kills as well. But big hole coming in now from Kairos as they get onto that middle point and make a significant amount of kills away from it, pushing out. Are they going to be able to continue to hold, though? It's not easy. You've got players from Mindfreak flooding from all directions. Now here they come. You can see it's like a noose, a blue noose of Mindfreak is hitting round, but they have got the Purifier out, and they are going to stay alive, and that allows them to hold this hill. Kairos will get more time. Mindfreak spawn all the way over by pipes, and that is just not good news for them.
30 seconds to go on this hill as well. The rotations were looking like it was going to be Kairos moving over, but Mindfreak have rotated all the way around there. They're quite happy to give up 30 seconds to allow themselves to get the spawns. They're having a little stab at it by the looks of things. Swifty has sent himself in there. The rotation for Streaks, though, is, for this next hill, sorry, is going to belong to Mindfreak. They are set up. Luca in elbow. It's going to be about a 20-point game as we head over. Tempest in hand as well. This is Mindfreak's to lose.
It certainly is. Anybody comes out to the catwalk, they are going to be in serious trouble. And Cammy takes that first little peek. They now know that Tempest is active, though. What are Kairos going to do here for this break? They know they have to go. They're going to lose it on this hill if they don't. You can see them stacking. They need to make these gunfights go for it. Defrag manages to get 2. Are they going to get enough bodies into this hill, considering they don't have the spawns? Beastball Josh is going to come in. That's just turned them away. Mindfreak are now spawning out. Kairos have control. They can't win it here, though, but this hold will put them in contention.
Humongous break, and look at the specialist as well. Josh still has his grab slam. Shocks now does have his attack 5 as well. But other than that, on the side of Mindfreak, it's not looking like they have a great deal. Fighter's nowhere near. So realistically, you would say the specialist race is just about in their favor. Okay, Josh has just killed his teammate with it. Never mind. Mindfreak fighting back for this one. They want to try and get every single point they can. Josh can find his second here with the pistol as well. That's a 50 extra HP. It does not matter. Streaks available. And now Kairos are going to have to rotate fast. Mindfreak are set up, but the streaks are coming in.
Oh, he's not going to be able to get anyone here. He's hovering into the air. He doesn't see anybody. Manages to get one through the doorway. Here they come. Kairos have used this opportunity to push up the map. They're now trying to get into it. Mindfreak are reeling from this one as they've just lost control.
Tag 5.
What's going to be available? Tag 5 comes in. But oh my goodness, War Machine. Swifty's just started cleaning them out here. They're desperately trying to stay alive. Only 6 seconds left to go. Mindfreak should have this one. One last push from Kairos, though. Comes swinging in. Josh gets 2, but it's not enough. And that will be all she wrote. Mindfreak take map 1.
Oh, Mindfreak just started turning up towards the end there. That allowed them to get their specialists in. That's ultimately what changes it there. Great work by Josh on that orange hard point, but from there, the transition over is just not quick enough. They have to sprint across, but because they're so far behind, they have to fight for every single scrap. In the end, it is going to be Mindfreak to take away a close map number 1. We're in for a good series. If that's anything to be based off, what a game between these two.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to criticize baseball on the use of that grab slam, considering he killed his teammate, but then managed to make kills out of the back of it. I'm not entirely sure how he did it, but he got them streaks. Fortunately, it's not a hill that streaks aren't that effective on, as we did see. And then obviously a War Machine shut it down. Swifty had the War Machine available, took out 2 of them, and that pretty much ended their chances.
And the problem is that because they're so far behind them, Mindfreak only need 5 points. It's not like you can send the streaks towards the back to then try and fight for control of spawns. It doesn't matter who's got spawns when you need to get there as quick as you do. It's a very, very difficult thing for Kairos to find out. But we are going to jump over towards the game that is going currently on Bravo between E United and Heretics. Loser goes home. Heretics the only all-EU team left in the Pro Tournament and left here in London. They're going up against E United. They've already been spliced this weekend, Heretics, so we know that they can hang with these teams, but E United with a really good start here on map number 1.
Wow, it looks like E United are fighting super hard in this. Heretics don't usually see them struggle in a hard point as much as they seem to be doing right now. Bearing in mind they came out of their pools without dropping a single respawn.
I don't think I love this map for Heretics, to be honest with you. It's one of those ones where, I mean, a frequency is perfect for them. They're fast and frantic, whereas Gridlock is a bit more long-sighted. Yes, they do have those good ARs, but I mean, they're going up against Arcides, who's 16, 11, Clayster at 25 and 15 as well. It's always a very, very difficult game. E United are very, very strong at this map, and it's look like they're going to be taking it pretty convincingly, but I'll be interested to see how the rest of that series does go. Keep an eye on that one and Bravo, but E United, strong start map number 1.
Yeah, that was a crazy easy game for them. Heretics now just got 100-point club there over on Bravo. Well, fortunately for us, you know, we're having very tight games on Alpha. Kairos versus Mindfreak went right down to the wire, but now we move on to the Search and Destroy. Tan, the Australians have been known for their S&D in years past.
Yeah, they have been. I think it's difficult because I look at Kairos and I look at the players on this team and I think they're strong S&D players typically from Europe. I mean, think of Wee Man, think of his time on that Fnatic roster when he was there. They're a very, very solid player. However, yes, you are right. Mindfreak's S&D has typically always been pretty good, but I don't know, like Mindfreak have been a bit funny this year. We always sort of associate them with getting in the Pro League, doing things against some of the teams there, and having a couple of upsets in that regard, but I haven't necessarily seen the Mindfreak that I've seen over the past few years this year so far. So it'll be interesting to see if they can change it up. The roster's completely changed from what they used to have as well, but typically we do expect Mindfreak to be good at S&D.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think the caveat here is the fact that Kairos have looked very strong in their S&D throughout the Game Fuel Open bracket, and that may be what they're relying on here. Like I said, we've seen them lose a few hard points here and there anyway, so they're probably not too worried about that first result. They just need to make sure their S&D game is every bit as good as it usually is, and hopefully that will work out for them.
And they've got it to fall back on the fact that they only have to win one of these series, of course. They aren't going to lose the first map to Mindfreak, as you've just seen. But there's plenty more maps to be played. Mindfreak looking to try and get this done quickly, and that's important. Now, if Mindfreak are wanting to have a chance here, I want to see them get this first series done pretty quickly. You want to see a 3-0 or a 3-1 if you're an Australian fan watching. God knows what time it is over there, but it's early here as we head into map number 2 in the Game Fuel Open Bracket Finals between Mindfreak and Kairos. Thinking Hacienda, thinking of ARs, you know, we've seen Wee Man have a pretty decent game there on map number 1, and his AR seems to be shooting straight. But can he match Fighter? Can he match Luca here in this Search and Destroy? It's all going to be about the fight towards fences. That's typically where we see things go down. It's typically where we see everybody go. But which way are Kairos going to go on their first attack? Oh, well, Paradox, charge a controller, bro.
All right, well, let's see exactly how this is going to play out. Right now, on board with Wee Man, and he's just seen a player on out of balcony. And it looks like they're actually going for the rotate. They've gone straight for B here. Now, Wee Man just stacking with his team. A little bit worried they're all looking the same direction.
They're going to have to keep an eye on Luca coming around behind. Sessi is going to find defrag, but they know there's no utility player with yet. So Josh should think about getting this one down. Swifty just about gets out, but are they maybe a little bit late to plant this? But
Wee Man is on the flank. Sees one. It's not going to be able to get that second kill. He should have been able to, realistically, just didn't get the quite right snap. And now Mindfreak are in the advantageous position. 1 versus 3. But no one's already gone down. He's gone for the second one as well. Can he do the 1 versus 3? Goes for the challenge straight away. He had a little bit more time to play with there. Could have slowed it down. But good job on the first 2.
Yeah, and I think he maybe just gets hot-headed there, finds 2 and thinks, you know what, I'm going to gun the 3rd with minimal bullets. Does a good job though, finds sets it easy enough. Good prediction on the shocks, and I mean, good positioning in the end from that final Mindfreak player. But I would have liked to see that bomb maybe go down a little bit quicker. Look, there's no utility player with if you're Mindfreak to try and get them off that bomb, other than shoot them with your gun, of course. But I would have liked to see Kairos maybe go for the plant and back it up. They had ARs there, they had good control of the site. And what Mindfreak did really well is they got control of middle, so Kairos could not rotate over towards A quickly, but here we go into round number 2. Swifty in the middle, Shox finds one onto Nelson. Kami wins another gunfight that looked unlikely. Luca now trying to stay alive up top. He's trying to find Weeman, but it's a good start to the round by both teams. 3 versus 3.
3 versus 2. This is kicking off in a massive fashion. It's now a 2 versus 2. Weeman and Kami going at Spider and Shox.
Bombs down to there.
Now, are they going to play this cautiously or aggressively? And it looks like they're being a little bit cautious at the moment, looking for information from both sides. Just trying to figure it out. They don't actually know where each other are at the moment, and that's the problem they're having. They're trying to figure this one out. First information is going to be very, very important for it. And there we go straight into it, and he almost got that one. The ICR ends up switching guns. Sorg may have played him better there, but now Kami again left in the situation. Is he going to be able to figure it out? 1 versus 2 this time. Little bit easier than 1v3 almost made.
And the timing that they've got a couple of occasions in this S&D round. If they do go back to watch this, sorry guys, it's been very, very unfortunate for Kami and Josh in that. It's Kami and Weeman in that situation. Sorry, Shox now in a really good position. Maybe shut Kami down, sticking together that 1v2 S&D roll, and Kami is just going to slide right into them. Horrible timing for Kairos on 3 different occasions there in that round, but Mindfreak play it well. We'll take a 2-0 map lead.
Well, let's see whether or not Mindfreak can keep this going on, because you are right, a few times they've been a little bit lucky for it, but Kairos really need to step it up and start thinking about not going into those positions where they are man down. Another point I will make up there, that Mindfreak were close enough to each other that they were able to kind of take him down and win that gunfight, but if Kairos were actually stuck together, they may have been able to make that trade. They didn't do it because they weren't near enough.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation in the end, but Mindfreak good for their lead here. Fight there at 4-1. Looking towards his specialist, potentially, of course, ever since the nerf, where we don't see many of them. I don't necessarily think his will be that useful either. Fighter now does find 1 kill on the Nelson, though. Going to be working on streaks. 175 off, gets taken down. Big kill by Defrag. 44.
Now, they have the advantage this first time around, but it is a little bit of a shaky shot from Weeman. Now 1 versus 2. All resting on the shoulders of Swifty. Can he break the hearts of Kairos Esports here? Just trying to figure it out again. This is the same scenario we saw last round, looking for information.
He's got a cluster.
Oh my goodness, that's going to be a kill. Surely, how on earth has Defrag got away? Swifty, if you're not going to make this, and oh, you know what? You need to make that kill.
Yeah.
You're not going to get many more opportunities like that one.
No, he snapped onto it really, really fast as well. And like you say, maybe take his time there, but the player would have seen him from when he's planted the bomb. Defrag, yeah, with the best player, and that's a big kill on the fighter as well. 175 off streaks, and streaks on this map are hugely influential. So even if they didn't go on to win that round, Kairos, that would have been a big, big kill. But they do win the round as well, so extra bonus there. 2-1 now to Mindfreak. Both teams just starting to feel each other out, figuring out what everyone's doing in this S&D. As I said, these guys have not played each other up until this moment this weekend.
Setzi going for the ambitious. Oh, hit marker in a B spot. A little bit of a gut shot coming in from that one, and now they're going to know. They're not going to really peak that position anymore. It seems like that has given the opportunity to Mindfreak to maybe just creep up a little bit.
Has done, but now Kairos won't be peeking anything, but they are aware of a sniper in the midst of Mindfreak, so it doesn't surprise me that they're sending some aggression on the flank. Setzi's going to be in no man's land if he does get caught, but we're going to stay with him as he's looking for shots. He is not going to find anything, but the rest of Mindfreak do. Shox finds 3. Swifty takes down Fighter, though. 3v1 for Josh. And it's a very, very quick turnaround. Mindfreak get 5 very quick kills. Find themselves with another round. A good S&D performance out of these guys. As it's so experienced, they've been here so many times, and I think a lot of guys here in the venue and at home will sort of be saying, wow, that was like shooting fish in a barrel, but you think of open bracket finals, you think of maybe these 18-year-old players trying to make a name for themselves, but this is veterans. These are guys that have been here time and time again. They know what they're doing. They will not falter on that main stage, and Mindfreak are showing that in abundance right now.
Well, let's see whether or not Kairos have anything left in this. Right now, Mindfreak seem to be kind of dictating the pace for a lot of these S&D rounds. And we jump on board with the attack, this time on board with Kami. Has been playing very well for his squad so far. Hope they kind of rise up and meet him. But All stalled now, looking for that information. You can see that one player there, being on a long flank up the top. It's going to be B-Sport. Nelson looking for a pick with a sniper. He can shoulder now and swipes and gets him as well. Looking for that shot, not quite able to hit it. He probably will try it again. Not going to see him at that time either. Now his teammate trying to write this one down. There's lots of fun going through connector. It's going to be Mindfreak who push through again, and now they're going to have to get out of there. Try to back it up. Cami finally makes a kill.
Question, and sorry Bryce, why Weeman pushes into connector with an ICR. You can sit back and watch that from somewhere else. Now, the bomb is down. They have to retrieve this. Shock's in a great position, puts shots into Cami, but is not able to make them count. This bomb now should be going down. It's a 3v2 for Kairos to try and pull off. They're going for the rotation round. They're running the Shocks though, and now a 2v1. Swifty, not in the best of positions, and Kairos have time to rotate. All they're going to do though.
Interesting, has he called this correctly? Swifty in a 1 versus 2. Sees the player come and drop right onto him now. It's Nelson. Nelson comes in with a shot punch though, and manages to take him down. Kairos get another round on the board. Every single round of this S&D, it's slow, it's tense, and then it's very, very fast.
Yeah, there's been some questionable decisions in that round from both teams, to be honest with you. Kairos seem to be making a decision to move over and then just taking their time. Decided to wrap back and nearly got punished. There's Nelson with 2 snipers in the round. Snaps to this left-hand side. I don't even think Fighter's seen him. Takes him down, and Kairos now trying to get back into this search and destroy. 3-2 now.
Let's see. Very tense between the two teams. Like we said before this started, both of them known for some serious S&D skills. But let's see how this one ends up playing out. Mindfreak, bit of a spread across the map here. Maybe looking to kind of pull this Kairos team around a little bit before they make their move. But Luca ends up taking down B-Sport this time. Same tactic not working for him.
That's a couple of times they've lost gunfights down that side. Defrag, did he see the player that was in and around him? I think Swifty's just moved away, but this movement over towards the B bomb site for Mindfreak looking like it's going to work out. Nelson does find Shocks though, but it's a 4v4 retake for Kairos to try and pull off. Swifty out in no man's land. They've caught him as well. The fact he stayed alive is massive because now they have to worry about him as well. But Nelson trying to find what he can do here in and around the bomb site. He is going to get traded by Weeman. 3v2.
Make that a 2v2. Very, very close. Defrag wins that one as well, though. Swifty trying to come round, trying to get in a good position for this one. He's got to defend. Cami first, one goes down. Now 1 versus 1. Can he make the clutch? It's Defrag. Has to go for the challenge. He knows he does as well. Can he win the gunfight? No, he cannot. Swifty ends up taking that one. And they now go up 4-2.
Sloppy from Kairos, though. I mean, you're in a 2v1 and you've went completely opposite directions, challenging areas that you would expect players to be in. I mean, why is this push coming in from Cami here? You have to be slower, work together. Wait until your teammate's coming around behind it, is going to be behind him, if albeit he is there. He was there, and he finds 2. And restores Mindfreak's lead. Big 1v2. It's a big, big round.
Yeah, they really should have, especially
Slow
because
it
they got
down.
numbers in that one.
You had 25 seconds. If there's like 15 seconds left on the bomb, I understand it, but you've got an extra 10 seconds. You've got 25 seconds there. Slow it down.
Well, not paying out for Kairos at this time, but we jump on board with Nelson with a sniper. Is he going to have an opportunity? And that is Call of Duty timing for you. Shocks just able to get away with his life, and now they're going to come into it. Mindfreak again taking the advantage. It's now a 1 versus 4 for Nelson. And I think he may get out of there.
And he's gone for a swim. A bit too long of a swim. And he will go down, doesn't want any part of that. Mindfreak now within 1 round of going 2-0 up here in the game for your open bracket finals. They need 2 best out of 5s, and they've had the best start possible to the first one. And for me, it's really been a case of them just trading better, trading significantly better. Cami's putting shots down there, Swifty's there with his teammate, working together in these big 5-on-5 gunfights and coming out on top nearly every single time. A mountain to climb now for Kairos to get back into the search and destroy. They're staring down the barrel of a 2-0 deficit in the first series. Mindfreak looking so good.
Wow, let's see just how this one's playing out. You can see a big push coming in now from Mindfreak. Looking to try and get in. Luca instantly gets that first blood. It's just not gone well for Kairos and what could be their final round of this S&D. Nelson trying to make some magic work. Has that sniper to play with. Just not quite able to see anybody he can hit quite yet. You see bodies now going into the fight. There's a huge fight going in front of Nelson. He's just not able to get anything going with it. They're just not peeking him. And Nelson could be in trouble. They're trying to shoot him through the fence.
Again, Aggressive on him. Nelson quite happy to challenge it, but Weeman is there for cover. Does find one, and it is a 3 versus 3. And also, though, if you're going to invest a sniper, you need to do something with it. And Swifty says, you know what? We're not playing these long-range games anymore. He's trying to get around from the flank, and the rest of his team need to survive while he does it. Nelson finds more, and the shots go in. Swifty not quite able to find it. Nelson now has found himself another gun.
Still got that sniper as well.
Oh, and he expected it. Mindfreak take map number 2. Swifty expects the quick defuse that Nelson went for, and I'm a big advocate of trying to jump on the bomb early. A lot of players don't expect it. Swifty that time, very aware of what was going on. Mindfreak take a commanding lead in this series.
And I think maybe some of that might have been to do with that he knew Nelson was running a sniper, and in our case, Evan thought, you know what, even if he is on there, maybe I can kind of dip in and out and I won't die instantaneously because of it. So went and checked, and it was exactly what he thought was happening. So there we go, Mindfreak go up 2-0 against Kairos in this.
Yeah, and as I said at the beginning of the S&D, if they want to win this final, I feel as if they need a quick 3-0 or 3-1 here in the first best out of 5. It's always so difficult if you go to a final map on this series and it gets dragged out. That mental toughness that you have to have, the stamina you have to bring. Maybe if you had to play 10 maps, imagine how many maps that is for all these guys to have to play. It's the same for Kairos though. They really don't want to go to a second best out of 5 here. They would rather finish it now, but Mindfreak, you want to make this quick.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we'll find out exactly what happens in the rest of this series. But first, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. See you soon.
The Call of Duty World League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official beverage of the CWL. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the CWL. And TCL, America's fastest growing TV brand.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CWL London. We are here on the main stage live and ready for our game with Mindfreak and Kairos to continue. My name is Bryce, of course. Joining me again for this one, it's Ton.
Yeah, and a really good performance out of Mindfreak so far. Honestly, I was expecting a bit more out of Kairos in that S&D specifically. These point was a little bit closer, but a really strong showing from Mindfreak in map number 2 there, and they are looking good for this first series. Just to repeat for you guys at home who maybe haven't been here for these first 2 maps, Mindfreak need 2 series, so they need to win 1 more map in this one, and then win the second series to take home that prize. Now we're going to go over to Seaside. It is going to be Control for map number 3. And Mindfreak really do have the momentum behind them now. Can they close this first series out and head into the second with bags and bags of momentum? If you're a fan of the UK boys, Kairos, in this venue, you're going to have to get loud for them. They are backs against the wall here. Mindfreak looking to close this first series out here.
All right, well, let's find out exactly how it is going to go down as both teams look like they are going to stack that B side straight away. And Josh is trying to go in. Fast play there with the grapple. Unfortunately, just not able to make the kill straight away.
Nelson now does get one. What can Josh do? Trying to push forward, not going to quite happen. Kills coming in favor of Mindfreak. Sexy finds one in the Weema, but the first initial kills just about coming in favor of Kairos. 4 kills apiece though between these two. Shocks now trying his best and does find 2. Is he going to find a third as well? Not quite. A big fight going on for B. Nobody able to establish any sort of control.
Well, I think to keep an eye on there, B-Sport Josh is looking to maybe get a little quick tick onto A, but more importantly, this is going to drag people away and allow his team to get back into it. Unfortunately, maybe he could have played his life a little bit there. His teammates weren't around the B side to distract them too much. They couldn't use the opportunity that he provided them.
I want to see him maybe sitting in a bit more of a corner there. He's sort of standing out in the open. If he sets himself into maybe a bit more of a sneaky position, then he plays his life a little bit better. It's a much better position for him to be in. However, there's going to be 5 quick kills for Mindfreak. They can now push up the map, put the pressure on where they need to. Setting things afire here. Kami been pushing them back though if he can. The Mindfreak have started in the same vein that we've seen them continuing through that S&D from the end of that hard point. They have been on fire here so far.
They really have, and I think one of the key things for this one is the fact that Mindfreak played so aggressive there to try to get some more kills. They've really put Kairos on the back feet. Look at this one, they're now finally going to get into A. Kairos have to be so careful. They just don't have the lives to throw away into it, but they are managing to get these trades. They are managing to make the wins. Can they get enough bodies into it to lock it down? Weeman! Shot punch and the shoot straight after. They now are going to have that first tick onto B all locked down.
And if you're Mindfreak, you have to ask the question, do we go in for another stab at this, or do we just use our life advantage here? Looks as if they're going to have another go. Swifty is going to take down Josh. And Kairos, if you're them, you need to hold this really well as well. It's not going to be one of those ones that you can just trade out. Look at the live count. It is well and truly in Mindfreak's favor. It's looking like B is going to be captured by Kairos, and they will extend that time. But look at the lives. It is 5v11. They have to be perfect from now on.
It's just a very difficult win from here.
It's doable, don't get me wrong, but it's I mean, that straight away, Defrag needs to be one of these gunfights. It needs to be a perfect transition.
Yeah, 2 versus 9. I just don't see it really being achievable. Weeman's going to try his very best. He's now alone in a 1 versus 8. And he is running around alive. See Setsi, managed to win the first gunfight. 1 versus 7. 2 going to challenge him here down the stairs, and he's not going to be able to win that gunfight. And that will be first point to Mindfreak.
And if you're Kairos in that situation, I said, lives mean a lot in Control. However, if you still have everyone alive and you can have a perfect transition, get 5 men down without losing anybody, which is very difficult to do, but if you can do it, they're in a really good spot to win that round. However, it's so difficult when they've been pinned in. Mindfreak played that well.
Exactly. Just giving an update for the Bravo stream as well, actually. E United win the Search and Destroy 6-5 against Heretics.
It's a big win.
It is a big
win. That S&D would have been important for Heretics. They're back into this one. Shocked 170 off streaks, and streaks can be fairly influential on this map. Not necessarily the best, but definitely will not be concerned if he gets them. But how is he getting there? How are the Mindfreak team communicating? Let's find out with an Astro Gaming listening.
Oh my god, he's got turned on.
Hey, two mid stage, yeah?
Oh my fucking
Hey, Nelson
god.
was A, Nelson was A as well, yeah?
Let's go down, let's go down.
Holy shit.
Front door, Nelson. You went back, lobby.
Hey, we got 2 on B, yeah?
Go B here.
Dead.
Behind him.
Can't leave him.
B, yeah?
I got 2 B, I got 2 B.
They kills then.
Yeah, you guys can back up if you need to.
I'll get you one.
No, I'll get one. You get it, you get it, you get it.
Two, that's two. Nice. Push you, two, push them.
I'm just gonna camp until they come now.
I'm gonna
Got
stun.
one now, yeah.
I'm stunning fish.
I got a nade, I got a nade.
Stun them fish, I need help.
Come on.
Help me, help me, I got wide.
Two in.
Yeah, wide. I'm gonna need help wide. Yeah, I'm starting wide. I need help.
Help one.
Nice, good shit, yeah.
I got your cross.
I'm watching flank. Oh, you got it.
So all cap for specialists.
Yeah, all cap, come.
Get on it, wait.
I got a KN, so I can aim up over you guys, yeah?
No one in war.
I'm gonna crash this, right?
Okay, Ellie,
I crashed.
Green Ellie, dead.
I crashed. Let's go.
I didn't see anything mid actually.
I see it.
One top church. Top church.
One your white, one dead.
Nice.
Top church.
Oh, white.
Church.
Nice, with the
White,
clown.
white.
Let's get in.
Watch your white.
Wait, I'm white. I got white.
Yeah,
I got soldo.
Yeah.
White dead. I'm just poking.
I got your back door. The green door.
Soldo weak.
Say hello, side.
Close. One more.
I got it.
Yeah, I'm watching you.
He went top church.
Two back. Hold back. Wait, man, close. Nice.
I got full streaks.
One more. Nice, boys. Good
Yeah.
fucking shit, boys. Good fucking shit. Let's fucking go, cunts.
All right, well, there we go. Mindfreak managed to take the second point there on control. And they locked it down in dominating fashion. Can Kairos even stop Mindfreak at this point?
They just look so much smoother, don't they, in every single facet. Mindfreak are really rolling here, and if you're Kairos, you reset and you say to themselves, right, come on, we can win these rounds, we can get things going, but if you lose this, you forget about this series. It's not over yet. It is not over yet, but Mindfreak, well and truly, do look like they want to finish this one off quickly, fight there with streaks. The specialist race is being won by Mindfreak. Weeman not too far off his Tempest, but the streaks coming in. It's just going to make things so difficult. It only finds one there with the Hellstone, but fight it. Starting the defense of Mindfreak's control. Third round, very, very well.
Yeah, and again, they're in the same scenario here. Like, they just can't break into it. Look at the side of Kairos. Beastport Josh has gone 2 and 10, just not able to get anything going from Defrag's not having a good game either, 4 and 11. They're just unable to win these trades, unable to win these gunfights, unable to get map control, unable to cap points, unable to win maps.
Yeah, I mean, they're not doing anything good at the moment, to be honest with you. The kills are sometimes coming in, but Mindfreak are just, I mean, I don't want to go back to the simple fact, but they're outslaying them very, very hard, to be honest with you, and it's making things so difficult for Kairos. And if you are Kairos and you allow this to turn into a TDM, if you like it, it's so difficult to get back into it with the way that Mindfreak are firing against you right now. Fighter doing business here with the KN. Not too far off his specialist as well, and this might be one of the quickest 3-0s we would see in a grand final. At any point in COD history, Mindfreak have dominated throughout every single map, and they're looking to send this to a second best out of 5.
They really are. There's just nothing going on for them, and they've got that Tempest out as well. Kairos are struggling. 10 seconds left to go. They seem like slugs on this map. Nothing happening for them. Josh goes down. Anybody else want some? Nelson, you're going to have some as well. Yeah, I'll keep going. Thank you very much, Weeman. Lightning strike unlocked. Don't even need it. This is over.
Mindfreak send it to a second best out of 5 in devastating fashion. If you're Kairos, you are worried about this. Boys, I love the shirts, by the way. Get them in the crowd more often. But look at Mindfreak. I love to play out of them more. A sensational win as they're going to send it to a second best out of 5 here in the Game Fuel Open Bracket Final. And Kairos are shrinking away into the second best out of 5. Tails between their legs.
You're not going to see a much more one-sided control than that ton. Mindfreak just wouldn't let them anywhere near B.
No.
And a lot of times you see a very scrappy fight going on a few times, and maybe you can kind of convert that into a church push, but realistically, just nothing was going on.
Very, very difficult for Kairos to get things going in that map, in that series. And to be honest with you, when we started the hard point, I was like, wow, they come out screaming. They had a fantastic start. Weeman was frying, and then ever since we got into like the second rotation, since that point in the series, it has been all Mindfreak. All Mindfreak. I don't know how Kairos recovered from that. That's not just like a close game. You think, all right, okay, well, if we change the VOs, etc., they got smoked on pretty much every single map. It's been very, very difficult for them.
It certainly is, and I think we can take a look at just how badly that entire series went for Kairos. And like we said, hardpoint not too bad, 250 to 216. then it went bad, right? Hacienda,
Yeah.
6-2 on Search and Destroy, and then it went worse. Seaside was 3-0 on Control. If anything, if we played Hacienda Hardpoint, you'd actually expect them to get negative numbers there.
Oh,
Kairos.
yeah.
It'd be like 250 to minus 100 or something.
It went so bad for them. So bad. And, you know, going into the second best out of 5, as said, they are going to be hurting, but they have to reset. It's a completely different best out of 5. You know, different vetoes will come into it. But when you get 3 out, how much matter? I mean, you know, there's some of your picks in there. And
Well, you veto that map. That map is gone.
you video all of them, to be honest with you. But, yeah, I want to see a big reset from Kairos to see a good best out of 5 here, because Mindfreak really made it look easy.
Yeah, well, they're going to have another chance in the second best of 5 here at CWL London, but we'll be right back after this quick break. See you then. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CWL London, and the crowd is warmed up here on the main stage.
Yeah, come on, give me more
a little bit rowdy.
More shut up, Maven.
Well, we are going into our next game here in the best of 5, but before that, Tun, many things going on here at CWL London.
Yeah, very, very many things. We are going to go over towards a Bravo game. Maven trying to keep the crowd warm over here, but of course Heretics and E United currently playing on Bravo. But we're gonna dive in. We're gonna dive into this one. Heretics are 1 up in the control, over 2 down in the series. They need a reverse sweep to stay in CWL London.
They do, and it's already been a big tournament for both of these two teams, doing much better than they have done at previous events. Can Heretics go one better this time around? All the Vamos in the chat is going to be needed as E United are looking strong. 4 versus 4 as they go into this control. Journey trying to make this a little bit better for them. 3 versus 4 now. Can he win this gunfight? He has. Journey doing so much for them. 3 versus 3. They've got to get into it now. They've got to get into it. He's going to go for it. No, not quite able to. But now all players are going to be in here. 1 versus 2. Journey has got to do some work, and he's not quite able to shut down. Quaster will take him out.
Yeah, big round for E United there, and it really comes off the back of a 5-man wipe, and it was looking really good for Heretics, actually. It was one of these points where they were in a really good scenario. 5 kills coming in their favor on E United's side, and that makes it an interesting control map.
It certainly does, but you've got to wonder, do Heretics have enough to reverse sweep E United? That's the big question that's being asked.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, look, the Heretics have taken a couple of scalps we didn't expect them to. Beating Splice yesterday was a big one for me, and their control game actually looks pretty good. And I think it depends on what map number 4 is. We've seen them be very good on these close quarter maps. As I said, Gridlock is not necessarily my favorite for them. If we can find them on a frequency hardpoint map number 4, if they do win the control, they've got a good chance in the series.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Heretics may just need a little bit of a warm-up to come back into it. We did say their respawn has been so strong this weekend, but I don't know. United, they've looked shaky pretty much all the way through this tournament, but somehow keep going forward, keep managing to get that extra round over and over again.
Well, here we go. We will go into the next round now. United now trying to capture Zone A here. You can see a lot of teams do this. They push towards Church to send one guy out, and then it just retracts away from the pressure that the defensive team can put on Bravo. But not able to get anything sticking here. It is going to be Heretics trying to defend. Streaks in their back pocket as well, with Metal still does have a lightning strike available, so that's definitely something to look forward to if you're a Heretics fan. However, the kills are in E United's favor, and they have the kill lead.
Well, now trying to cap on a B here, but Lucky managed to shut down 2. A B's equal to it, and he's going to keep it all sound for his squad as they now flood back into B. We're also going to see Simp with the War Machine. Woe betide any of them who try to come through. Now that they are going to... Flak is going to be out, so it's not going to be as effective. He needs to get rid of it fast. His trophy's out as well. It's not doing a lot for him. Sim, fortunately, is much better with a sword as he sees them and starts snapping and actually ends up missing the trophy there. Has to go back in to get it, and that will be B locked down. Heretics now have to fall back into the church and defend A.
It's looking very, very good for E United in this round. Big plays out of Simp. Arsetes must have tickled him with his last bullet to steal it away from him in the kill feed. Either way, he will get the points in his 2-2-5 streak. Sukri holding down their flank, though, is going to find 2, so something for Heretics to hold on to here as 4 kills actually go in their favor, and that's the thing with control. It can change so fast. It doesn't matter how many lives you have. If you can get this 5 down and gain some real estate in the map, you can find yourself in a good position to defend. And it makes things so much more difficult if you're on the defensive side and you're pushed halfway up the map. For the attacking side to push on through, they have to then push through. You can respawn. You'll be back in a good position before they can even get to the point.
Well, that's what they're trying to do exactly that. BZ has managed to get in, find that player on the tank, managed to get that one down. Can he get the hip fire? Just not close enough. Fortunately, Arsetes will come back in for the trade, but there's not really enough E United bodies here. Vision Pulse now coming in at the same time. That's going to help, but what it does show them through the wall is the incoming War Machine.
And actually what I love from E United there, they hear the War Machine coming in and they all back out. There's no need to get involved in that. You've got time to let them burn that down. They wait for it to go away, and it doesn't seem to matter. Pristini and Calista clearing up where the Maddox is, and now Heretics have to break on through. What was looking like a good control game for Heretics initially is sort of falling apart. E United doing the business here. 3 members of the Heretics side left as E United freely capture A. And this is going to be a 2-1 lead for E United in the control. 2-0 up in the series. They're looking to march on.
They certainly are, and Lucky is maybe hoping and praying to do anything here, but it's not really going to matter. There we go. Looks like E United keep on rolling.
Yeah, looking really good for E United in that series. I do believe we're going to go back to our series on the main stage very, very shortly, but I think for Heretics, this is a fairly decent result. You know, if you would ask them seriously where would they like to finish, obviously it's always first. However, you know, a top 6 finish, it's all right. That's all right from Heretics.
Yeah, but that's the issue, isn't it? Like, I don't know any
Is that
pros.
the limit?
Well, I don't know any pros that are happy with a top 6 finish, but
not.
Heretics, this is more a return of form, and you can take many positives away from this, but they're never obviously going to be happy until they win a championship, win a chip. And if you're a fan of Call of Duty, a lot of you are kind of scoffing at that and saying, well, we don't think that's ever going to happen, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, you don't turn up to finish 6th. Like, it's the same with anything. If you always go to win whatever you're competing in, if you are competing in something. But realistically, it's expectations. You have to weigh them up. And you know, Heretics fans themselves obviously all would like to win the event, but they know that it's not maybe that obtainable for them. Pristini now making things more difficult with 2 streaks available for him, but it's been a good start by Heretics here, looking like they are going to capture B. I'd imagine E United are just going to let them do it and defend here for 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
I think we'll probably see that grab slam invested this round as well. They're going to have to try and do some work here to make sure they hold on to it, because E United have been very, very good at just reducing the kills down to basically a TDM.
Sip now, moving around the map, and he'll be quite happy to play a TDM. It is a 2-kill difference now. Caught back up. Looking at Specialist though, plenty to play with. If you're the Spanish side of Heretics, methods with that grab slam, which is always good for the entries in here. Lucky now has popped that Tempest, is going to get a kill with it as well. We've seen him be very, very efficient with this weekend, and it just gets caught, hitting the stim net. It will get taken down. That's a big kill coming in the end, and Pristini's going to start calling in streaks. E United wanting to put a nail in this coffin. Clayster in the mid-map finds 2 as well. It's looking good from E United.
You know what? Every time I've seen Clayster play this week, I think he's just been doing serious
He has
work.
played well. He has played really, really well, and I think it's an important thing for E United to have a Clayster start playing solid. And if that's the case, they can go far.
But this is the problem. Like, E United again have managed to flip it around to now it's kill even. But Heretics just seem to come out on the worst side of these trades.
Yeah. And it just seems to be, I mean, looking at the minimap, United were just swarming in and around the map. But that's the difficulty. When you do that, when you find yourself in strange positions, you don't have anything to fall back onto. Yes, they're all going to respawn, they'll get themselves in a good position, but now they're going to be pushed back. What can Heretics do? They got stuff in their back pocket here, but E United have actually popped the TAC 5. They want to try and win this here. Grab Slam Nelly available for BZ. Methods does have his Sukri not too far off his vision pulse either at 14 and 23. Could these specialists be the difference? Who uses the Grab Slam better for this round? Heretics, they need it more.
Trying to lock this one down, and you can see Sukri going. And again, Heretics in this scenario, they have to be flawless, but the problem is they've also got to be fast all the way across the map and straight in. Not going to give them any option to check their corners. Set up a vision trade. Already one of them's going to go down here in the middle of the map. And he's gone for the grab slam. He's got nobody. Oh, BZ shows him how to do it. One better. Grab slam from downtown, and that's the 3-0.
And that's ultimately what games can come down to in Black Ops 4. Who uses their specialist better in that scenario? Absolutely a BZ. Only a million, to be honest with you. And Heretics, a couple of smiles on faces from Heretics there. I think they sort of realize this is where our tournament ends. And as said, they will never be happy with not winning an event. However, top 6 for them, I think realistically, if you had offered that at the beginning of this event, they'd have taken it.
Yeah, I think so. It's especially if you're a fan of Heretics, you know realistically that they weren't expected to do that much coming into this one. But that game is done and dusted, and on Bravo, here on Alpha, we have our second best of 5, Kairos versus Mindfreak, and this is the series layout. Hacienda hardpoint, payload search and destroy, seaside control, frequency hardpoint, and then Arsenal search and destroy if we go that far.
Yeah, and we can see that it is indeed going to be frequency the second time around again. I think Kairos probably wouldn't be too upset with that. We are going to see Hacienda firstly though, and we are going to get into it. Here we go, second best out of 5 in our Game Fuel Open Bracket Finals here. Mindfreak did the business in the first one, 3-0, very convincing. Kairos need a complete reset here. They need to go back into this and with a different mindset. They had a really good start to the first half point. Remember that, and if they can carry that sort of form all the way through the series, then this is going to be a good one. But if they don't, Mindfreak will stomp all over them again. Coming from the losers bracket, they need 2 best out of 5s, and it's a good start to the second.
It is, like I said, this main middle hard point, no one really goes to too much about the points. You can see a lot of fighting going on around Big Rock. See which of these two teams really comes out ahead when it gets to this rotation. That's going to be the important thing here. And you can see Kairos have set up just a little bit, but Swifty is in a great position as well. Is he going to be able to see this player in the corner? Oh, wee man! Just got absolutely wrecked by that one.
Oh, Swifty finds a second as well, and he's performed so well throughout this series. We heard him in the listening, and he's turning on kids all over the place, letting them know about it as well. Mindfreak now set up inside Garage, and what can they do here? It seems to be a good push by Kairos. Actually, that trophy system they put forward aggressively, and it just shuts down any utility coming in from Mindfreak inside the hard point. And Kairos will break on through, but they have Mindfreak contesting them towards the back, trying to stream in, but it's a good hold in the end. Nobody watching Dolo. Here comes Shox. He slipped in, fights 2, fights the third as well. Good stuff from Shox, and what are Kairos doing? You need to have somebody watching that. They're concentrating on everybody coming through the front door, and they don't see the side. Shox cuts them in half and finds 3. But backwards and forwards we go. Josh is in there trying to gain some control for Kairos, and they will get the final 15 and take a slender lead heading towards fences.
Well, it looks like Mindfreak trying to start off the way they ended the last one, get this to Swift 3-0, but can he get second kills here? No! Not quite able to get both. Let's get shut down from it. Nelson waiting patiently with this ICR. He is obviously just trying to figure out where these enemies are coming from. He's going to see one on the screen right now. He's going to win this gunfight. No. Ends up getting a little bit of timing. Wasn't pre-aimed in enough. And now Kairos are on the back foot. They don't have control again.
Josh now trying to make the push through. The rest of the team coming up from top office as well. I like this from Kairos trying to move that round. Josh wasn't actually too far off streaks, but will get shut down. Eventually Kairos start getting a couple of kills in here and will get control. Take down 4 or 5 members, and now it's only Setsi left in a good position to defend. 30 seconds remaining. It's been a good rotation in the arm by Kairos, maybe a little bit too slow for my liking. But fences is really hard to control for any more than 10 or 15 seconds, and they get wiped by Mindfreak straight back. So neither team holding that well so far, Brycey, but it could make for a very, very good first map.
Well, last dying seconds of this one. Rotation again, Kairos don't have the positioning. Going to have to try and make some work here. And B-Sport Josh is going to see a player by Lambos. Isn't going to win that gunfight either. Cammy does manage to win his, but he gets traded out as well. And now Kairos are miles away. Mindfreak will get a good 15 seconds at least off of this before any real danger comes in.
Good shots by Weeman. It's an important position to hold up top, but you need people inside the half point. Shots into him. Kairos trying to push through. Tank 5 is going to be popped, though, making things even more difficult. Mindfreak now looking to assert their dominance here in this hard point. 35 seconds left to play with on this hill. And look at the flank coming in from Kairos. Are they going to expect 2 there on the outside? Setsi is set up and ready for it as well. Mindfreak just holding well. Weeman does find a kill from Garage, so can they do anything with that? It seemingly says no to Mindfreak, and they will hold this down.
Wow, Swifty going to come out here, gets that shoulder peek. You can see many, many players of Kairos come through, but Kairos are just being basically headbutting a wall right now. They're not really able to do anything. Not a single point for them on that big rock. And now they're going to have to think about rotating and trying to recoup something in the middle.
Close to Streaks fighter, and he does stay alive as well. 35 off. Big kills, and wow, Mindfreak have really turned things on in this past 60 seconds or so. Kairos didn't really get near Rocket at all. Mindfreak locked it down and didn't lose much for it. Fighter on a 5 streak and working towards his specialist as well. Make that a 6. Hellstorm now available. Not going to find the 7th, but it's been all Mindfreak in this past 2 hills, to be honest with you. The kill feed is always blue.
Yeah, a lot of that's to do with Fighter as well, and Shocks, as you can see. In fairness, they're just really outslaying them all over the map. Just not a lot going on for Kairos. They're trying to make things happen, but every time they do, they end up getting 2 or 3 piece. Fighters now got streaks as well. They're not in the greatest position. This rotation means so much for them. Kairos will have the better position around Lambo. They don't have full control of the back spawn though, and that's a worry. You can see that they've spawned out at the same time. Already Mindfreak are coming in to cut them all down. They've ripped it all away. That was not good enough.
It's not good enough, but Mindfreak are playing it so well as well. We've seen the trade coming in towards stairs, and it was just so well played in the end by Swifty, and it's just such a hard angle to hit here as well. If Setsi continues to fire like we've seen him do so throughout the rest of this series. Grab Slam is available as well. It's all Mindfreak. I have not seen. It's been a very similar start, but not to the same level of the first hard point that we've seen. Kairos were fantastic over the first 2 hills, but since then it's been all Mindfreak. They have been somewhat flawless. Nelson is the only one who can answer back. Shox is there to clean it up. Will stay alive and has help from his teammate. This has been fantastic for Mindfreak so far. They've been somewhat flawless over the past 4 hills.
It's all Mindfreak all the time. It looks like they're going for one last push into it here, but it doesn't really matter. It's only going to get scrap time even if they get it, but they don't even get that. Continue to pump bodies into this hard point. Not entirely sure why. Could have, I mean, for 7 seconds for this, really?
I mean, I'll allow them it because of the setup, but fences is never that hard to break. However, they need to start doing better across the board. They need to start slaying more, and they need every single point. They're 110 behind, so I'll forgive them for going for that final 7, but realistically, they need to start doing a lot different here. Luca now has popped his Tempest, and I think that chained to maybe 1 or 2, but doesn't find the kill. Is going to take down D-Frag, but every single member of Mindfreak is absolutely frying here. Luca with the Tempest in hand is going to get taken down. But Mindfreak, I mean, what more can you say? They are completely in the driving seat here, and they are wanting to make light work of this grand final.
Yeah, it's all Mindfreak. There's very little else going on. It's just Mindfreak playing about. I don't know what Kairos have done, where they have been.
Oh, it's good play by Weeman, though. He's going to find 2 here with the Tempest. 10 seconds remaining that they will get, however. The deficit just feels like too much. The rotation actually belongs to Kairos as well, so Mindfreak are going to set up mid-map, wait for them to transition over. Kills though, fairly even, 2 for 2 trade for either team. Josh comes in there, and I mean, it's the grand slam for one kill, and that's the thing. They're so far behind that they have to throw all their specialists in here and try and get something back, try and get some streaks going. Do they know Fighter still has that lightning strike as well? Even if Mindfreak get taken off, they're 25 away and Bryce in complete control.
Yeah. I just don't see a comeback coming in. Not with Mindfreak playing the way they are, not with a lightning strike in the back pocket either. Kairos are trying to do everything they can, and you've got to give them credit for fighting right to the bitter end, because obviously they want to keep that momentum and fight good so they can get into these next maps and try and regain.
This will be 4 maps in a row for Mindfreak, who are looking above and beyond the better team on that stage right now.
Get Mindfreak in the Pro League. Get them in.
I mean, from this sort of performance, they have been sensational in this series, and it begs the question, how do they find themselves in the losers bracket if they are playing like this? Or is it just a case of Kairos really not showing up this morning? Nelson finding 4 in this best player. I mean, that is literally all that Kairos did. Mindfreak are making them look silly right now and looking to walk away with this grand final very, very quickly.
Yeah, and I just can't really go against them now. There's nothing that Kairos have shown that means that I can back them in any case. I'm grasping at straws.
You're very right. I mean, the first map in the first series relatively close in the end, but I mean, how do they get to that map again? At this moment in time, it's not looking likely. They pretty much smoked in the S&D. The control was convincing from Mindfreak. And how do you get back into it if you're Kairos? I don't know the answer to that question.
Well, the crowd could help them.
Yeah, maybe.
Could help.
They're not feeling it yet.
No, a bit early for them.
Not yet.
UK team.
I mean, I'm all for a shut up Maven chant if you want to get amongst. He's not in here. No? Oh, God. Come on, you got to give me something. You got to give me something. But yeah, they're not getting behind them at all. And I mean, how can they though? I mean, this is not being a good performance. You can only get behind something good, and it's not been great. Not been great.
No, it really hasn't. You got to ask yourself, how did Kairos come back into this? Hopefully the S&D can give us some answers for it, but the last S&D didn't go well either. 6-2, they weren't able to get anything going. And now finally it sounds like the crowd is starting to get going just a little bit.
They might be telling me to shut up, who knows? But look, I mean, if you are Kairos here, you have to completely reset this series and sort of say stuff, right, take map by map here, but you're running out of maps. That's the issue. Oh my God.
Now those are some people who've come ready to be in the crowd.
I mean, what are the bananas? What's the red guy?
Yeah, what is the red guy? Oh, he's going to show us.
Oh, he's a chili.
Love it.
I wasn't sure. I didn't see the green bit. I didn't see the green bit. Love the commitment, though. Love the commitment. But heading into the rest of this open bracket final.
I wonder if they've got a spare for me. That's what I want to know. You have to have a really big one, obviously, but
I mean, you said it. I wasn't going to say anything, but
I'll be in that crowd later. I'll be
oh
ready.
yeah, I know. This is us warming ourselves up. As soon as we're done, we're in there with you guys, absolutely. But wow, I think if you could look at Kairos now and sort of see how they're feeling, and defeated compared to how we seen them at the beginning of this series, they were feeling good and laughing and joking, but now they're like, okay, we just lost 4 maps in a row and none of them were really that close.
Yeah, you made it to Championship Sunday, but you don't win a map. Tough. Very tough, very tough. You see them just looking a little bit dejected, like that body language, you can just tell, right? I'm no expert, but they just don't seem to be in a good position here. I mean, to be fair, Mindfreak don't look particularly worried either.
Yeah, it's like a different sort of relaxed, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think Kairos looked defeated, Mindfreak looked hellishly relaxed. They're quite happy to be in this position. Knew they had to bring 2 best out of 5 wins, but the way that they've done the first one is really a testament to going into the second one. Like, they win that 3-0 in convincing fashion. They are fresh and ready to go into the second series. 1-0 up in this one as well. You would put your house on Mindfreak right this second.
Yeah, you certainly would, and I think, whatever time it is in Australia, we never figured out what that was. I'm just going to guess 12 hours.
No, it's usually more. I couldn't even hazard a guess. I couldn't even hazard a guess.
Just guess.
They'll be.
It's probably like midnight. I'll guess that. That's be around right.
They're ahead. I think. I want to say it's maybe nighttime. So actually, we should have some guys. I would like to think in the chat they will be happy with what they're seeing on their screens. A very convincing performance from Mindfreak, but Kairos. I had so much hope for them. Coming through in the winners bracket as well. You expected them to come into this with a bit more fight, but have they got anything left? Will Mindfreak burn out? Probably not, the way that we've seen them play so far, and it's a good start to this round. It's suddenly a 4 versus 2, and we need to see a fight from Kairos very, very quickly. Mindfreak are making this look easy. 1-0 already in map number 2.
There are no words, Ton.
I mean, it's hard to cast because you're trying to think of ideas of Kairos to come back into this, but it's just the brilliance of Mindfreak. They are honestly, when you see Kairos come through the winners bracket and see who they beat a team who beat Mindfreak. So I mean, if you're working a simple logic head math, then of course you expect this to be a relatively
simple head math.
Simple head math. God, it's early. But if you're working off that, then you expect this to be a relatively close game at least. But it really has not been that. Kairos have not shown up yet.
All right, well, let's see whether or not they will this round. On board, currently with the wee man. And he's just trying to get a few shots into. Doesn't do anything there, though. Got a little bit of information. They know Mindfreak are in the area.
Wee man now. Trying to get something going on this defensive side, looking for some picks. First one, of course, is going to go over to Shocks. Cammy now. Can't find a kill. Luca answers back with one on Nelson. The setup now, though, for Mindfreak, looking solid. Bomb goes down to B. They back off. They'll get up top. They have the number advantage. They have the advantage in the series in this map as well. Sitting pretty. Cammy trying to push through. Gets cornered by 3 of them. It's now a 2 versus 4. Shocks finds defrag, and I don't think I've seen many of Mindfreak lose any good fights during this series so far, Brett.
Well, Esports tries to make something happen. Nothing going to happen for them. Mindfreak go 2-0 up. An unstoppable train for them right now.
Oh, they look unbelievable. They look absolutely unbelievable up on that stage. They look like they don't belong there, if you like it. They look like they belong in the Pro League right now. That's how easy they are making this look. It'll be interesting come Champs time to see, if Mindfreak could continue this form and see how far they could go. I mean, that's a question on everyone's lips. Some of these open bracket teams, how would they do against some of the lower teams in the Pro League? You think of people like Midnight, people like Denial currently. Where do you go against those guys? Right now, though, Mindfreak up against Kairos and making it look easy.
They certainly are. Well, let's see whether or not Kairos have anything here. Going for tunnels control. Shocks just going to see one player come through. Is he going to win that gunfight against Josh? Josh goes straight down, and that's again a disadvantage for Kairos. Are they going to be able to do anything here with this? Stuns coming in. Nolson managed to bring one back. Has that sniper. It looks like if they can get this down, they might have a good opportunity to hold it. They've got enough bodies. They've got enough time. They have control. And now, Mindfreak starting to move, getting into the action. Nolson's waiting to see. Anybody going to peek him? There's a peek coming in. No, he's going to end up missing. Another one for him.
It's hard to re-peek the angle though, because they're going to have that preempt. He's going to have to move away. Weeman. It's a big gunfire from the win. Gets caught with a stun in his hand. Defrag is going to find 2 though, so hope for Kairos in this round yet, and they will find a couple more. 1v2 now for Shocks. Not enough time. Nolson should take him down and does. Waves from the crowd as Kairos eventually get things going in this S&D.
It's been a little bit of a wait for them. Finally the crowd wakes up, finally they see the home UK boys do a little bit of work here in this grand final. A little shred of hope. Will that turn into a fire to reignite the hearts of that team?
I mean, they still don't look like it, but these guys have the experience. That's what I said at the beginning of this series. They have been in these sort of positions before. Can they tap into that here? Mindfreak right now, though, I said they've got that as well. They've got it in abundance. And they also have a significant lead in this series of 1-0. Looking good and confidence-wise. Defrag's going to find 2 easy kills, though. Josh gets out. Kairos starting to show up in this S&D, but is it too late?
Never too late. Never too late until this game is over. Josh trying to do some work for them as well. Another kill going down, and Mindfreak now in a 1 versus 4. Swifty is going for a swan dive.
I like how he played it to the crowd as well.
Yeah.
He's not too bothered about the fact that he could be killed and feed towards streaks.
All right, well, let's see if this is the start of something beautiful. Have Kairos finally decided to make this an exciting grand final rather than just being run over. There's the man, B-Sport Josh, legend on the shores of the UK.
An enigma.
Wrapped in a mystery. All right, let's see what they can do on the attack here. Kairos brought this back to 2-2. Last 2 rounds have been all theirs. Anything set up, Setsi, though, is going to have that Paladin. And no, Nolson has his as well. First blood there for Kairos, and that's a big push for them as well. Trade's coming in, Josh gets another one as well. Advantage again to Kairos. Mindfreak in a 2 versus 4. Setsi trying to make something work there, but managed to not get the kill. And all now has to run from the RK7. There's a very effective weapon in the hands of these snipers at the moment.
It can do a lot of work up close, but that sort of range doesn't really do what Swifty is doing. A fantastic job at staying alive here. He's going to find the second kill, and eventually Nolson will find him. But Fighter, ready and waiting, finds Nolson, and Kairos.
2 versus 4.
Oh, that's a round you have to win. Bomb down, 2v4. And they spend so much time chasing out to try and get rid of that player. Just back it up. You don't get him first time. Stop trying. You got one guy with a sniper there as well. That's just... it's just not great. You need to see more from Kairos there. Need to make better decisions. I mean, I will give full props to Swifty here. He does a great job at staying alive as long as he did. Finds Weeman, dips back into cover.
It's winning this gunfight against Josh that was the key.
Yeah.
Just nothing you do. Josh also had the weapon. You know, Nolson had an RK7. That's all he had to win that next gunfight. Didn't work out for them. But all is not lost. Mindfreak still up 3-2 though as they head on to the attack. Let's watch them on board with Setsi. He's going to run straight in with that ICR and just have a little check out of A.
Can Mindfreak get things going here again? Shots in by Swifty. Heavy air push as said. Kairos maybe free flowing a little bit now, and Luca is going to keep an eye on that. Cammy does spot him and backs off. Slow around here. Shocks is going to get a kill with the grenade though, and his gun, and the bomb's down. Disaster for Kairos very, very quickly in this round. Weeman is going to get one back. Josh trying to stay alive. 1v4 now.
Down they go.
And you know what, we were chatting before this, and we sort of said, all right, was, you know, thinking of Kairos coming through the winners, going up against a solid team like Mindfreak. Yes, okay, they've got that series advantage, but we really did expect a pretty close game. That first map sort of gave us an indication of, Yeah, okay, we can see that for the rest of the series, but since map number 1, it has been all
2v4.
Mindfreak.
At
I know.
2v4. Just when Kairos seem to get a little bit of confidence in them, a little bit of hope, they end up choking that round massively. But we'll see how they continue to play. Is anything left for Kairos now? You see already Josh is just in a player, he's trying to back off. They're going to start swapping him here as well. He gets one, he knows he's going to be in trouble. That goes down, that's a trade. But it may end up going for this plant, or they may end up waiting. Interesting strategies from Kairos. See what they're going to do for it.
Oh, Fighter gets horrible time in there as well, and Defrag will catch him. After Kairos, do you back off and go back towards A, or do you commit to the push? Decision making hasn't necessarily been the strongest point in this S&D so far. Swifty will bat them away, and they will rotate back towards A.
Well, they have the advantage now. Numbers on the side of Kairos again. But that happened last time. Swifty versus Luca. Bomb now planted. Advantage to them. Nelson's about to be in a little bit of trouble. Players about to hit him, and he does manage to get away. Fortunately, the rest of Kairos switching into action. He's got a sword. He's going to try and make the jump to get back. And they're just holding them off here. This is actually really good for Kairos, because every single second that bomb goes down, but no, Defrag's already gone. Cluster grenade takes him out, and now that's done to swing into action. It's going to be Swifty. He's got to look for these players. He's going to see Nelson absolutely snap. Sees that second player as well. Weeman trying to do something, but he's going to be pinched, and oh my goodness. Same old story, same old Kairos. They have the numbers, they lose a round.
Swifty just sent that Kairos player to the Shadow Realm. Good lord.
That was a snap. I think there was also a crackle and pop in there as well.
Bloody hell, I just deleted him.
Well, map point.
I mean, how are they even here though? Like Kairos, you will always go back to that 4v2. It's a completely different S&D if they win that.
This is the big kill.
I mean,
this like absolutely destroys Nelson.
He just looked at him and he died. Wow, fair play. Mindfreak looking great in this series now. About to go 2-0 up in the second best out of 5, you feel. Everyone make some noise for Benson in the crowd.
Well, let's see if there's anything left here for Kairos on this now. They have lost the first one, they've lost the second. Finally get a trade coming in. It's a 3 versus 4. Weeman though brings it back to a 3 versus 3. Trying to get some more goes down, but Fighter manages to take him. And again, once more on the back foot. They going in. Is that good enough? Not going to catch anybody with it. No hit markers either. Swifty's in a little bit of trouble. He's trying to dip and dive, trying to stay alive. He isn't going to be able to do this. The problem is they're about to be hit by the side, and that is all she wrote. Mindfreak take map number 5 in a row.
I mean, if you're an Australian fan, is there anything more you love to see? They have been sensational, and that just paints a picture, doesn't it? Now Kairos look heading into the 3rd map in the second best out of 5 after losing 5 in a row.
Interesting thing actually, because we can see the player cams here on the main stage, and obviously we get the wonderful cameramen here in the arena, kind of show us both teams. I don't actually think they're talking to each other on Kairos.
You know what?
There we go.
No, you're speaking. I mean, Josh never shuts up, really, to be fair. But at the same time, it's just one of these things where they'll be discussing like what is going wrong here. The thing that I have to fall back on is the fact that they still only need 3 maps out of the 10. That is, well, out of the 6 that we are about to play in a second, they still just only need 3 more. Mindfreak have already found 5, but you still only need to find 3, Kairos. That's all you have to do.
Yep. You are right, in fairness, you know. All the maps we played will mean nothing.
It doesn't matter. If you find the next 3 maps.
If they win the next 3 maps.
Exactly.
Tiny bit of hope, but I'm not going to lie to you, Ton, or the people at home. Kairos don't look entirely enthused. But I'll tell you what, we'll find out whether or not they can regain right after this short commercial break. We'll be right back.
The Call of Duty World League is presented by PlayStation 4, the official platform of the CWL, Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the CWL, and Republic of Gamers, the official monitor of the CWL.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CWL London. We are here live in the Copper Box Arena, ready for the rest of our grand final going on the main stage. It is Mindfreak versus Kairos. My name is Bryce. Joining me here, of course, Chris Tunn.
Thank you very much, Pricey, and it's been the story of Mindfreak pretty much smoking Kairos for the majority of this series. Yep. We've seen glimmers of hope for Kairos, mostly in map number 1. We've seen a couple of decent S&D rounds and then a couple of awful S&D rounds from Kairos in that game. And ultimately, this is where they find themselves. But still, I keep trying to harp on about it, but they only need 3 maps, and they will still be champions. It doesn't matter about the last 5 that we just played, that Mindfreak have absolutely destroyed them on. It doesn't matter about that if they can win the next 3. It's looking unlikely, no doubt. However, there is a game going on Bravo. It is going to be Envy up against... sorry, it is going to be Genji against Envy. Yes, I was right in the first place. Either way, let's see how this... Oh my God. Okay. I mean, that's not the best grab slam I've ever seen. It's unfortunate, I will say.
Full being bumped there. Well, let's see how these two teams are going to go award. We've seen a lot of Genji actually over on Bravo. We've been casting this weekend, and they have looked so good. But Envy seem to be able to keep pulling it out of the bag, and both teams seem fairly even now as they're in their second set of rotations.
This will be a close game. Genji have looked really good this event and just could not get things done against 100T. Envy looked rejuvenated with their new squad, and I've seen quite a lot of Envy actually. I think 2 or 3 of their games I managed to cast. So Decimate has really stood out for me. You know, I was about to say Pharaoh has actually been playing pretty well, but he's currently 5 and 15, struggling in that AR role, going up against a player like Mox maybe. But right now, it is going to be Genji in control of the spawns, in control of the hard point, trying to lock things down. Envoy's on a good flank over towards that side as well. Will shut down the attack for the spawns coming in from Envy, and Genji in complete control.
Well, let's see what Genji can do with this. They do have the advantage. This is a hard break usually for a lot of teams coming into it, but Aches managed to get a kill down with that KN. Nagafen though, picking up the reinforcements before they can do too much damage, and now outcoming Tempest. Gonna look for him, not able to get him, instant shutdown. Nagafen does nothing with that specialist.
And he's invested that for, as you said, absolutely nothing, and Envy have broken through. 20 seconds to play for. Envoy though does have a lightning strike to play with, and they will just retreat now. 15 seconds left on orange, and move over towards blue. Envoy and the gang setting up, and it's aggressive push there. Actually, Havoc gets pushed up, and that's that number 6 on your screen. I think that was Nagafen before he gets taken down. Getting aggressive on the defensive side, but Envy seem to be sweeping through them in the middle of the map. They've spawned Genji out. Envy in control of the point, looking to try and get hold of the spawns. It's a good transition by the boys in blue.
It is, but look at the kills coming in. Big kills coming in from Genji, and that has allowed them to quickly retake. It's one of the fastest retakes I've actually seen. Almost no trades coming in from the side of Envy, but Hugh trying to do some work here at the back. Knows he needs to stay alive, give his team an opening, and he takes down Envoy. And now they have got a position. They're going to try and pitch this one out as all of Genji end up falling apart from that, but it's grab slam and it's Havoc, and he stays alive and just forces Envy to reevaluate.
Havoc doing his best here. Manages to hold them off himself. Oh, that's a Purifier gone as well. He just sent Aches away off the side there, and that is going to take him down. Streaks available. That could be the swing point. Havoc does find 2. Pharaoh now is going to take him down on the rotation, but that could be big. Aches invests a Purifier for 0.
Well, let's see if this does pay out for them. We've got streaks, we've got specialists, all going to come into play. Envoy, they're doing such great work. Sorg is unreal in his hand. Havoc getting 2 with his Hellstorm as well. They get straight onto the side. Envoy tries to gun down Silly off that chest high cover. It's just not going to be enough. War Machine almost come out then. Changed his mind. Major Maniac decided he didn't need it at this point. Ends up going down to Havoc as well, who basically can't help but just kill everything on the map.
I think he just basically pulled it back away because he's seen Envoy just calling in the streak, and then sort of says to himself, well, why do we need this if this potentially finds some kills? Envoy now calling in more of his streaks as well. Pharaoh now trying his best, not having the best games at 10 and 18, needs to start heating up. But Genji looking good in this hard point. You could go over to Bravo to catch the rest of that series, but we are pretty much ready to go here with what could be the final map of the Game Fuel Open Bracket Finals. But Genji comfortable in that game 1.
Yeah, certainly so. And of course, you can catch that game on Bravo. So if you want to see just the end of it, don't go anywhere because we've got a better game. That's what I'm saying. Don't leave.
I just wish it had been closer. It promised so much to be a lot closer than it has been, but wow, Mindfreak have looked so strong throughout the whole of this series. That's 5 maps in a row they've claimed. And what map did we see on Control last time? it was Seaside, and Kairos got 3-0'd, if I remember rightly. And yet here we are again. Mindfreak to close out the Game Fuel Open Bracket Finals if they win this one, but Kairos need 3 back-to-back maps to take the title themselves. Mindfreak already won the first best out of 5, 3-0 in convincing fashion. We're heading into map number 6 in a row for Mindfreak potentially here. Kairos, what else can they do?
Well, hopefully have a completely different map to the last time they played this.
Just play it significantly better,
Just do
it might be all right.
everything you did before, do the opposite.
Well, so far they have managed to get a couple of kills on the board. Swifty and Shocks do answer back, but Weeman is there to try and defend. Good shots with the ICR. Is going to shut down the initial attack of Mindfreak. And Kairos, you know, if they can get a round going here, if they can maybe find 2 and win this map, then maps 4 and 5 going into it, maybe they can feel some more confidence. But right now, it is going to be Mindfreak in control of the point. Slight kill lead as well. Setsi finds another, and it's a good start from Mindfreak in the end.
Yeah. This may be challenged one more time, but I don't even really see anything happening. There's just so many Mindfreak players in here. They have so much control. End up going, and now they're only on A.
Shocks now in the mid-map trying to get something going, but Kairos are going to find a few kills just to stem the flow of Mindfreak players pushing over towards Zone A. Shocks now in a good position, and you see this is a difference. He hasn't necessarily pushed in on his own here. He's lingering in and around the control point to try and find some more real estate for his team, to try and find some more information on where the Kairos players aren't. And then they can narrow it down, figure out which way they're coming from, just setting up for the rest of his team to push in with him. 5 members of Mindfreak looking to try and retake this side price.
That's it, trying to get into it now. Swifty gets one, going to go in, trying to get that second kill as well, does manage to get it. And now they have control, except for one player just hiding around the tank, and eventually Kairos are able to hold it down, just not able to get enough of a toehold in. They don't have as many kills to be able to take it as Mindfreak, as you can see there. 15 and 12 at the moment.
Weeman does a much better job there at staying alive. We've seen him do great with the AR in a couple of these games, but we need to see him do better, to be honest with you. Mindfreak just flying right now. Setsi finds 3 inside the point. Swifty finds another. Weeman left all alone now. 4 members of Mindfreak inside the point. Currently contested, though. That's important from Kairos, but they get wiped once again. Defrag, though, does manage to find a kill. Swifty now inside the point, trying his best, and Kairos just about holding on, but they have an issue on their hands, is that there's a lot of time left, and there's only 2 of them. 2v10 now. Mindfreak have just slayed out fantastically throughout this round, and will surely take this one in a moment.
Can they do this 2 versus 9? Well, no, they can't. No, they can't. Answer my own question. Brilliant. Mindfreak again, starting off as they did the exact same time on Seaside. Now, here's the key. Last time around when we saw this map, just about an hour ago,
not even,
Mindfreak dominated B so hard that they couldn't even let Kairos get near it. And it formed massive problems for them, right? They end up losing maybe like 10 kills in that area, and then when they finally started to do something on the map, they just didn't have the lives. This time around, Kairos need to hit it hard and get it quickly away from them. Because we've seen Mindfreak set up, they just do not let you anywhere near.
Well, the only good British thing I've seen this morning is someone dressed as Banana drinking a pint at 20 to 12, so I need to see more from Kairos. We need to see more. Mindfreak now 1 up in the control. You're very, very right. They were so dominant in that B site last time round, and I just don't know how Seaside has even slipped through.
Well, that must be one of the better maps. God knows what they vetoed for this one as well. But same thing has happened here. Kairos have been pushed out of B, and you can see the exact same setup coming in. But fortunately, Nelson's got one now. This is going to be a grab slam coming in, and there you go. Setsi ends up getting 2. Looking for that third, not quite able to get it. Kairos trying to get these kills going down. It's Nelson being one of the key factors here to let them in. But Cammy, you shouldn't be losing that gunfight. And all of a sudden, they're just not as confident as they were going into it. Josh finally cleans that one up on the Swifty. Here come Mindfreak though. They've gone for the big stack. They're getting the kills coming into it as well. Can they get the trades? Bait and switch and bait and switch, and it's just about working, but it's working for Mindfreak, not Kairos.
Fighter. Dude,
Cammy.
so well.
Are they actually going to get this first tick?
It doesn't seem so. They are going to get a couple of kills in here though, and Mindfreak will have another stab. There's plenty of time left for them to come try and defend this site. They do have the kill lead as well, so they are going to send everybody. Josh now setting up to see what he can do to hold them off. Cammy finds the first kill, gets traded out. Defrag finds 2, and it's looking like some life out of Kairos. 4 kills going in their favor now. And they might get the 5th as well. Shox is in no man's land, should be taken down. And you see, even that gunfight seemed labored. Like, he should have been dead a long time ago. Kairos really just not in the races this morning, but they are going to get the first point for them now. B is going to be captured. And they're going to have 1:45 to get a hold of it.
Okay, this is where it gets difficult for Kairos. Breaking into church, it's just not easy. The best thing they can do here is keep their trades very, very efficient. They have more lives. And as long as they don't throw them down the bin, they should be okay.
As long as they don't throw them in the bin, you're very right. On your screens now is Swifty. But for me, in this final, he's probably been the most impressive player from Mindfreak. 11 and 8 out of him. He's consistently been putting the hurt onto Kairos.
Well, Fighter is going to be the player to try and hold off this push.
Got a slight lead advantage. Very, very slight.
Very, very slight.
But they've got plenty of time as well, though. That's the thing. That's the positive for Kairos. They can set up and make one good push here. They don't have to rush in. That's why they're sending Kami all the way around behind. Shot's going to go into Fighter as well. Not quite able to finish the job, but Defrag does pick him up. But are the kills going to go in Kairos' favor? It's looking that way so far. They may well get around on the board here. They're inside the point, but Setzi doing his best to stay alive. 5v7.
Mindfreak do not have any respawns left remaining. Setzi gets one though. 5 versus 6, down he goes. 5 versus 4, 4 versus 3, 4 versus 1, and that's going to be Mindfreak all alone with Swifty. He gets one though. Are they going to have enough here? Surely not. He has a war machine. I don't think he's going to break it out of this opportunity though.
Defrag just jumping around, and the thing is, Weeman and Nolson have made their way over as well. 3 of them inside. Let's see what he can do. Isn't going to be able to find much. Kairos going to win around. How has he even got this far? Kairos are looking like they are going to close the round out.
There we go. Kairos win a round on Seaside. Let's see if they can do anything more. It doesn't take much, just a spark. Just a tiny bit of hope.
Just need to ignite the fire. They're a solid team. That's the issue with it. You look at the players on this roster, and they've all been at a fairly high level occasionally, but they're just really not bringing it so far here this morning. Championship Sunday here at CWL London. This crowd
I'll tell you something, we've got a good-looking crowd.
Oh, we do.
All chiseled. Look at them. Great facial hair, chiseled jawlines, unreal.
That's about the only good British thing we've seen this morning.
All right, well, let's see if that is going to be the case. Kairos finally managed to get a point on the board on Seaside. And it's going to be Mindfreak, though. They're going to hit them hard. They're going to hit them fast. They're already in. That's a Tempest out as well. I think that might have been his chain that just took them down. Weeman trying to do something here. He's desperately trying, scrambling. But that Tempest just doesn't work for them. And that's the first tick already down on B.
Mindfreak just forced their way in so well. They just swarm over towards Weeman. As soon as they see that Tempest out, they're just sprinting at him. It's a good guy. It's just hard to connect with those hip fires now ever since the nerf did come in, unless you're Dashi, of course. But Swifty now trying to push forward for Mindfreak, trying to give them a bit of room to move over towards A. They have captured that zone very, very quickly, and now they have 2 minutes to capture A and take a lead in this control. Plenty of specialists left to play with, actually nearly every single one. Setzi's not that far off his grab slam, but there goes the TAC 5. It's invested, but 2 players go down, so good hold by Kairos, but Swifty and Setzi combining for 2.
Now, interesting thing here, and keep an eye on it. If they manage to push them out of church, Mindfreak, they will probably end up dropping a lightning strike to get those respawns. There we go. Shox has just called it in. It's exactly what you need to do in this scenario. Pull it in, force them way back. Doesn't actually get any kills for it, but it will have stopped Kairos from pushing for just a second. That second tick is going to go in any second now. Doesn't quite get it, trying to get that first kill. Swifty gets it. Look at this, just absolutely burning these players right now.
19-9. Mindfreak making a statement after losing that previous round. This is looking like it's going to be theirs. Be a big hold from Kairos. It's not going to happen. I think they don't want to invest any specialists here. 6v18, just chalk this round up. If you are Kairos, try your best with the slaying. They are going to find 2, but at this moment in time, if things don't change very, very quickly, I would not invest any of those specialists. Another kill going in the favor of Mindfreak now. Swifty trying his best here. They're not even going for the capture point. Mindfreak are just slaying, and they are just walking through Kairos. 2 members of them remaining. Make that 1. Defrag all alone. and will be taking down Mindfreak, are a round away from becoming your CWL London Game Fuel Open Bracket champions. And they have done it in devastating fashion.
They certainly have. Well, we could be looking at the potential last round for Kairos in this tournament. Mindfreak just a tiny bit away from achieving their dreams.
I think the last time I've seen such a quick 2 best out of 5s in a grand final is since CWL Birmingham 2 years ago. Yeah. And Josh was the one that was involved in it, actually. He was part of that Epsilon team, I think, that did the 2-3-0s against, I think it was Splice at the time. And now he's on the receiving end of one of them by the looks of things. Unless Kairos can bring 2 rounds out here and make a series of it, Nelson will get his first kill, and let's see what they're made of.
You know, just did the exact same move last time onto this map, and Swifty has just brought out the War Machine to lock them down, and that's another big wipe. Kairos have been pushed out, and let me guess, Mindfreak are going to take control here in the same setup of BCs that they've done every single time. It's just not working for Kairos. You see already the specialists are coming out. They're holding nothing back for this one. Big kills coming in there from D-Dragon Cammy. They're trying to bring this back into realistically a game. Just not quite able to get anywhere up the map. They're making kills all over it, but there's no control for them. They're not actually anywhere near B.
Oh, did Luca get his streaks because of the tag there? I'm not too sure. No, he would have been very close. He was 50 points off. But here we go. Big gunfight for Kairos here. Swifty finds 2, though. Mindfreak just seemed to be rolling with every single punch. 40 seconds remaining, and Kairos have been pushed back into their spawn. You feel as if Mindfreak now, if you didn't think they were going to win it throughout the rest of this series, you definitely feel like it could be in their favor. Setsi finds 3, and they have just been absolutely outstanding in every single map that we've seen. Kairos are being pushed back. There's 20 seconds of their tournament left to go. Mindfreak well and truly in the driving seat here, Bryce.
Get him in the Pro League. Get him in the Pro League, where it looks like Mindfreak are about to run down the clock here. Surely Kairos can't do anything with it. They continue to just throw bodies at it, but now they have no respawns left. 4 seconds left. Josh is the only one who could possibly make it. Throws a grab slam. It's no good. And Mindfreak are the Game Fuel Open Bracket champions here at CWL London.
Appreciation from the crowd for what was a dominant 2 series for the Australians. And that was as convincing as you're likely to see. Disappointment for Kairos. They know they have more in the tank than that. And I'm sure they will be back at a future event. Find themselves in 2nd place. But Mindfreak, after they didn't do it in Fort Worth, they do it this time around in London. With a convincing 3-0 sweep from the losers bracket in the grand final. The Australians are your CWL London Game Fuel Open champions.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something, the crowd is starting to fill up as well as the rest of the day gets underway. Only a few teams left here at CWL London with any chance of walking away with the great prize.
And you know what, there's so much to go today as well. But let's have a look at how this game did break down. In the end, Kairos, the 2nd series, they really couldn't get it going. We thought, you know, there's maybe potential for them to come back into this. If Mindfreak want to win it, we needed to see a 3-0 in the first as well. We wanted to see a quick one. They got that, and then they find themselves in the second. They do the same again. Kairos' head's clearly just not in it this morning, and it's so unfortunate because I really did have high hopes for this grand final for being a close one, but Mindfreak just looked sensational.
Yeah, they certainly did, and Mindfreak, they can take away from this that they are basically a dominant force. I mean, they did lose to Aspire on the way to this position, but right now that's kind of paying dividends. Like, you got to think, where are these guys going to become champs time?
Yeah, and that's ultimately what they're looking towards. Of course, we've got Anaheim before that as well, but then we're talking about playoffs. There's the amateur tournament there to qualify for champs, and then there's champs, of course. These guys will be on a lot of people's lips when we get to that point, of course, and it's a convincing victory from them. The boys are on the stage now as well, and it's, I mean, what else is there to say about that series? They were above and beyond the better team.
Yeah, they certainly were, and I don't know, do you think we'll see any of them in the Pro League?
I'm not too sure. I think they can stick together and see their bets at champs and see how they do there. But Jess is on the stage with your winners here. Mindfreak now with Jess.
Thank you. Yeah, that's right. Congratulations, Mindfreak. You are open bracket winners. How was your open bracket experience overall?
We went down to the loser bracket, so that was pretty upsetting, but
we knew we could win because we're a pretty great team. So we just played each series by, how it was, and we got here and won.
How does it feel to be back competing on the main stage?
Feels pretty good, but at the end of the day, we still came 17th. It'd be nice to continue on to play, considering the form we're hitting. But yeah, it feels good to be back here in London.
And finally, is there anything you'd like to say? Oh yeah, round of applause, of course. Congratulations, very well deserved. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans back home in Australia?
Thanks for supporting us this whole time. Hopefully you guys stick around, and thank you.
All right, thank you guys so much. Once again, congratulations, Mindfreak, your open bracket champions. We are going to take a quick break, but we'll see you soon.